not but able to become active or grow in the future. Equality means the lack of benefit. Then shift means move something from its position from one place to another. Dear judges, the parameter of this resolution is not allowed. The parameter of this resolution is based in Uganda, and the current situation the current situation in Uganda that it's mostly 15% of women are being emancipation and shifted from their equality to female denominacy. Dear judge, allow me to amalgamate some of my conclusions. Number one, it helps women to cater from their quality priorities, and it enables women in proper planning for their families. Dear judge, I listen to this. Thank you so much. And I have the first speaker from team opposition.
This was the emancipation has shifted from equality to female dominancy. In the first place, something that I do not agree with from team opposition is the definition of dominance. In the first place, what is dominance? This means to be more powerful and have a lead in everything. But then, let's come to women emancipation. It's a program that was introduced to us to enable ladies to have a free will and engage in every activity. In the first place, they come and agree to the parameters where they said, but there's something we do not agree with and something that they are unsure of. According to the resolution, so then they come and tell us in their status code at 80 that 15% of women are shifting from equality. They are not aware of what they are debating in this state. First of all, according to the status code, it said that currently men are dominating in most of the states. That 33%, this 60%, which is left for the men, is that dominancy. Where are they in the carriers of STEM? We see that a ratio of 2 to 4, whereby ladies have a ratio of 2 and the men have a ratio of 4, which means that the men are more dominant in such areas. So there is no any form of ladies dominating in such a career. Let's go to education. It states that 82 men are educated. Any sector of the country that shows ladies are dominating more. Okay, let's leave that alone. Let's go to women emancipation. First of all, we tell you that women emancipation means the free emancipation. It shouldn't be left at that just because you have a certain idea and you just think that ladies are more than men. But then let's go in the dominating sectors. We find that men are there. They are the leading factors. They are more powerful. As I said, that dominancy means being more powerful and having a lead. Men are still dominating over ladies. We are still seeing men dominating in politics, seeing men dominating in the education sector, seeing men dominating even in formal employment careers. Okay, let's go on that. First of all, we see that this women emancipation involves empowerment programs which are there to help because they help them to motivate them and empower them. But then we still see that men are still up. So there's no case that the farmers should come and try to tell us that ladies are dominating in the career service. First, because we come to show you that ladies are still this and you still need this woman emancipation to take place because ladies, there's no shifting. Now they come to us, they tell us that for them they define shifting as moving from one position to the other. So which means for them in their case they are trying to tell us that woman emancipation has shifted. Now it's not focusing on promoting the equality that is required in this country. For them they're telling us now for it has gone a step ahead and it has left me behind. But then for us we come and show you whereby in our world where the ladies are still down, whereby we still need woman emancipation, which means in one case or the other there's no any form of shifting in this case of the woman emancipation. We still need the woman emancipation so as to be able to come up and motivate and empower the girls, so all the women, so that they can be able to come on the same level where the boys are. Because now the boys are dominating. Let it be politics, let it be in education, let it be even in the career opportunities. They are still dominating and we need them because we need to promote gender equality and reduce the imbalances that are taking place. So we are team negators for us to continue to say that we believe that woman emancipation is not shifting on any other side of the gate. I'm trying to tell you, and I want the farmers to quote us well. It's not shifting. word and they get to understand the meaning of the word dominancy. They get to understand it means powerful and having unless the affirmers come and show us how ladies are living men in any sector of the country, then they shouldn't come and continue convincing us that women emancipation has continued to shift from quality to equality, but then it's still on its major role of promoting gender equality in the nation, and for us to see that's what it's on and it's continuing to do. My second speaker will come and clarify more the points that I've given and do totally part of the points of the negative, and my third speaker will come with the debate and I will.
This person who stated this was a good thinking capacity, was having a very good thinking capacity that states that this house believes that women emancipation has shifted from equality to female romance. I would like to inform you that really this women emancipation has shifted from equality to female democracy. I will first my views by saying that it has shifted during the early days. During the early days, women could start their own savings CIP. During early days, women could start their saving boxes and save some money. But due to the fact that it has shifted, they started to do their things and which cannot help them to work their works. And the second one is people who always used to put A or I to put on decently, but now you find that due to the fact that the women emancipation
E or I which exact section do you think students are dominating?
Thank you, but there's a speaker who will explain more for it. People of other days used to put on decently, but now when you see in our area, you will find that people are putting on things that are not, and you will find that they are not. She's not smart because that emancipation shifted and they lose hope when they started to do what they want. And the third one is they used to respect their mothers in the here I mean when the people
are dominating, going to 82 to illiteracy rates having 82% of men being literate and maybe the literacy rate of females being 72. We think that men still are educating not dominating even in the education sector now. We do not think that the sector of realism that is making them think that every woman in education has shifted the whole thing. We think that maybe we are in total disagreement of their idea that they are fetching from their perspective, they are not clearly explaining to us. We disagree to it because we think women are not dominating anyway, and we think it is still unmotivating because we have seen it go on to empower women, go on to make them feel strong, go on to have them take up in good positions, go on to have them maybe do really the best out of themselves, something that was not emphasized in the former world, and that is all that women emancipation is about now. They should not maybe misunderstand or mistake the use of women emancipation to maybe redirect only the opportunities and create more opportunities for women maybe in the dominant world. That is not the role. The role of women emancipation, it has not at all gone on to do that particular thing they are maybe assuming. Because I think that women are putting money in this sense, they are not starting businesses, or they are not respecting maybe their mother-in-laws. That should not be the case as to why maybe they want to continue and question women emancipation. It is still doing its major role. Okay, now I think that in tonight's debate, it is important to first understand the meaning of dominancy, what we are actually debating about, understand what women emancipation is about, understand what is it doing currently now. Link whatever maybe you may bring up to documents to make us that really see our burden of proof. Prove to us that maybe we think it has shifted the thing.
The judges of 15 sides have everybody in suffrage. I salute you. You are looking negative. Maybe I think you haven't understood the debate. Let me ask you, can you prove us where the parent has been sent? Dear judge, they are astray about the parameter we are. They are talking about the God, and yet the parameter has been sent in Uganda. Make it. And dear judge, I think we haven't understood our points. We are saying women should be dominant for the proper development of our country. The reason why our country has not yet developed, it's because only men are developed and leaving behind the women, and which we are fighting for now. So as women also can develop. So now, what are you really talking about? If men are educated more than boys, then why current women excel in future than men? Therefore, here is where we say that we should do support the resolution, but not around. We shall do support the motion, which is stated and known by two other House at large. Now, dear judges, currently, we say yes to this resolution because this would enable women to have respect from the community. If women are excelled in teacher, they get respect, not leaving behind the situation which we have been passing through, where women were emancipated and thus losing respect, not respecting them at all. But now if we support this motion, and I do encourage all the House to support the motion, because if we support the motion and women also excel in the future, we respect them, not only doing things that we have been passing through the previous situation.
What is the debate about, and can you please define dominance in your own words?
Dominance is a state of making something excel in the future.
And what is the debate about?
That bed quality female dominance. And now here we are the team farmers. We are supporting it because I think the gift you have given you are enough for that. Dear judge, we take this note of this to one day because the current in Uganda, we women are reading more. And we are
over house sexuality on. I'm the third speaker from the affirmative side and with the burden of approval to this motion, to this resolution that says this house believes that women emancipation has shifted from equality to female dominance. That the panel of judges, sometimes I would like to tell you, sometimes you have to give a damn. There is no way for your coming here and telling me that there is no corruption. First of all, I will give you this example of after UCA examinations. These scores are being added 1.5 points. So now there's no way you're going to come here and convince me that that is not corruption. It is something that is very obvious and you should accept with it. And then you also told us that our classes were girls still dropping from school and women still being given a chance to give up, to express their emotions. And the panel of judges, these people are telling us that because girls are still dropping from school, then we should there is no emancipation and fraud, that there is no emancipation. But then people I would also like to tell you this, and sometimes you may try to be everything to someone, you may try to be great, you may try to be white, you may try to be rude to someone, but that person doesn't may also not value. But then you have done your best, and then if you have done your best, it is up to someone to do her best also. There is no way you're going to uplift someone who her soul is not valuing you. So we as this house, we have tried to lift up the glass, we have tried to do all kinds of work. First of all, if you try to compare in this Uganda, there are organizations for girls, they are very many. There is innovation for girls, there is innovation for girls, there is Bufasha, but then if you try to see the only organizations for boys in this country, they are only three, and that's why we as a two governments have come up with the way forward. And our first and second speaker told you, we have come up with the way forward of letting everyone join, and we uplift also that child who is being left behind, and that is the boy gender. Then you also say that
looking for those children and the manager not to know how the child is growing, as if the woman is the one who is looking for that child. If that child feels sick, the woman is the one who suffer taking that child to the hospital. It promotes even good behaviors. And as I have told you that woman is the one who looks for those children, and she will be able to teach them their behaviors. She will be able to teach them behaviors in order for future good.
Action and assumption was it's not already accorded by the law and the government of Uganda. They talked of undevelopment and poor distribution of resources. How can poor distribution of resources be correlated and corrected to the tonight's resolution? Panel, ladies and gentlemen, actually I want them to come and clarify what kind of distribution resources are they talking about? You're not understanding what we are saying. They should first clarify and tell us how well those resources are going to affecting and bringing up female dominance. My first speaker told you clearly that female dominance is not in place with woman emancipation is creating favorable condition. Let me give you a live example here, Judge. You take an example of a family where there is a man, there is a woman. A woman is there doing family course, who has attained some little education, but the man has attained education, but has even a professional job. Then they're afraid, a family of a man come and advises. That's the woman emancipation you're talking about. Advises a man that he be a woman at school to study. That means after the enrollment of a woman at school, she will acquire a professional job. That means after acquiring a professional job, she will be able to cater for the family at some roles. That means they have showered responsibility. So will you come and cut off allow me to submit as I see that.
So, we think that actually the team debaters, the team affirmers are actually trying to understand what we want them to understand. We want them to understand the difference between improvement and dominance. They can't actually tackle that point, right? So they try to tackle that point of the difference between improvement and dominance. So actually see what women emancipation has actually got. Has actually got a point in time about things like improvement in the culture, education, improvement, about everything about the gender equality that actually want to have in our country, right? So they asked about the percentage in the army. So we look at men who have 85% and few who have 15% in the current Uganda. So we look in the past where the men had 95% and women had 5%. So what has the woman emancipation done? It has raised the percentage of the women from 5% to 15%. That is the kind of favorable competition that we actually talk about. We don't want to understand things like that. So what do we want them to still understand? We want them to still understand that anyone is able to go to school, any gender is able to receive any resource. So they talk about a point that is actually unjustified, that has never actually appeared in the constitution, about things like an equal resource distribution. So I think that is nothing like an act that says actually the woman should receive this service and the man should not actually receive this service. So I think that maybe the woman emancipation has actually not got a point in time like that we actually talk about in this particular debate. So they try to understand, they still try to understand the difference between improvement and actual dominance. Someone to actually dominate in certain concept. Take an example, His Excellency let them still understand this example. Take an example, His Excellency is that he has been actually dominant in the current Uganda because he has been in Uganda for almost like 40 plus years, right? So that's the kind of dominance that we actually want them to actually tell us, right? So they think that maybe the kind of dominance, the kind of dominating in a certain limit you have dominated, that's the kind of dominance they actually think. But that's we think that maybe the kind of woman emancipation has actually grown is actually improvement one, things like competition that will actually bring about gender equality that we still want them to actually understand this particular concept. So they actually talk about things like the woman emancipation should be terminated, right? It should be terminated. That's what they actually think. It should be terminated, which actually stop the cultural education that we actually having. So you want to stop the programs of the government, bring about back the days where girls were unable to compete favorably among the women, among the population, where we had a woman who could actually not go to school. That's the kind of Uganda actually going to us in the world like this, right? So we think that the kind of performance actually talk about the education sector. In 2020, girls were able to be the best. 2021 were boys. In 2022, girls were the best. So there is equal performance, there is equal competition. So this particularly means there's nothing like dominance. When you look at the parentheses,
I begin my speech in CBA canon. This house would ban gender-based. This house would ban gender-based scholarships in higher levels of learning. Our key agenda is in the first place. We as a team government to come here and give you the key terms into next solution. We have been the word scholarships. Scholarships, this is an amount of money given to someone to help him or support someone in his or her life of education in the first place. What do we mean by banning it next solution? This means completely stopping the establishment of activities about gender-based scholarships in the first place or daily. In the first place, which kind of higher levels of learning are we meaning? We are thinking about tertiary institutions, we are thinking about universities in the first place, and we are thinking about parameters in our country, Uganda. But other things parameters are going to be about these, majorly about the girls who are going to higher levels of education in the first place, as a government in the first place. What are the reasons we as a government that we are giving you, and why we are banning the gender-based scholarships in the first place? We want to bring up all of us as a team leaders and the team of farmers. We do believe we are coming here to solve a problem of imbalance and to solve the problem of inequality. So that's why we come here and say we are going to ban the gender-based scholarships, especially those given to the girls who are going to higher levels of institution, not granted, who are going to higher levels of institution in the first place. Gender-based scholarships have increased inequality in our current status quo of Uganda audiences. It has caused a lot of inequality, it has caused a lot of imbalance within the students who are going to higher levels of institution, especially to the girls. It is leaving the boys behind, not going to, not granted, not
panel. This house will in higher levels of learning. In the first case, team affirmative comes and defines burning. At first case, team affirmative comes as totally, as completing, removing. And they come and talk about gender-based scholarships as they define scholarships as help or supporting either by giving money. Something that you have to but there's something we do that we give is the fact of burning. Gender-based issues, they only focus on those that are only catered for the government. Something that you are still negative. Because first of all, then they only come and tell us that in the enrollment system of Uganda, they only enroll gradually the number that is there is for only ladies. But then for us to come with the statistics that clearly show us that 82 men are educated and 70.1 ladies are educated. So these are the people who have been able to go for high education levels because at the universities. So in this case, we show that the number of males are higher than the one for ladies. So in this case, there is no case of saying that the girls are in favor or the one. But then what we see is the need of this based scholarship. We still see the need, and for us, we are still that people who are not opting for removing them. Because first of all, we still see the need of promoting literacy in our country. Because first of all, we get to see that ever since the gender-based scholarships were introduced in 1998, we have seen a big improvement in the literacy level of Uganda. So in this case, we are removing this one. So what do we need to bring? First of all, their policy is so problematic to the fact that after removing this gender-based scholarship, we are seeing people that are on these scholarships and at their home they are from disadvantaged families that are not able to raise the money from university levels. So by removing this, we have to only focus on the girls and they say that these scholarships only favor the girls. But then we have both scholarships that take up for both genders. Scholarships that will be like we are giving scholarships to 50 boys, 50 girls as long as they have been able to hit the climax like they want. But then for them they only come and tell us something like that. But then for us when we come in our status quo, if we say higher levels of learning, we do not stop only on this bachelor's or the university, but we have the PhD, we have the master's, whereby we see that the number of girls going for upgrading for such courses is higher than the ones for females. So if they come and tell us that ladies have been favored in such a policy, we believe that their policies go. Because first of all, we are seeing men are being upgraded, but then anyway, if you go deep into the status quo, it shows that if we go deep to analyzing and getting the concept of this motion, but then they only come and tell us that they are banning gender-based scholarship. But then for us, we show them in the world where they have been banned, where girls are not going to even be able to attain the higher education of land. Because first of all, in the case whereby two students are on campus, a boy and a girl, we see to the fact that if a boy is not given such a scholarship, these are people who are strong. First of all, they also came to us and they said that girls are strong. Something that they believe in. So, but then you have the one who is strong and the person who has been removed from this scholarship, and have a lady who has been removed from this scholarship. Take a look at this student. This boy is able, as long as he has the determination to continue studying, this boy is able to go and work, to look at your work, so as to be able to raise his money to continue sustaining him on the university. But then let's take a look at the girl. This girl is not able, does not have the capacity for doing work that these boys have. Because first of all, they have not yet attained a certain profession. That's why these people won't be able to do the same work. But then a boy can go on the site, the construction site, and be able to get the job and be able to sustain himself on campus. But then let's do a girl. That's why we shall get cases of those even becoming prostitutes due to the fact that they want to get money if they are determined to go for campus. Something like brings a problem in their policy and shows a people. We are saying that for us when we say we should buy, but then for us we are saying that we should still this gender-based scholarship, because first of all we show you the need of promoting more girls in higher education levels, the need of making girls also upgrade in certain courses on campus, because we show that the level of men, of educated men, or literated men, or the elite class of men is higher than that of the ladies. So we still see a need of strengthening these gender-based issues. All for them, as they say that they have been only empowering girls, and yet they have been only supporting the girls. For us, we see that there is still a need to bring the girl child. The girl child is left out, either in the education, even in the form of upgrading. We see that more men are upgrading for certain courses than the number of boys. So in this case, for us, we are seeing that there is a problem of imbalance, something that they also agree to the fact. But then if there is imbalance, why do we want to remove them totally? When we are seeing the problems that will come out from this, we shall say a decline in the literacy levels of Uganda. We shall say under development, because first of all, we believe that from literacy to development. So those are the things that the educators fail to take a blind eye to. But then when we say that there are these favorites in the gender-based issues because they are favoring girls. So for us, we believe by keeping the gender-based scholarships, we believe there will be gender balance and gender equality. My second speaker will come to do our cases. Preparatory battle, and third speaker will come when the dictator rests my case.
research program that actually helps us to do what is actually necessary and promote the community. So this helps to ban gender-based scholarships in higher levels of learning. So what we want the team of farmers actually understand is that the motion clearly states gender-based scholarships. So it means those gender-based scholarships after gender says it means they either favor the girls, they either favor the boys. And actually that is the inequality that they actually bring out in this particular debate. So that's the main reason why you actually banning such gender-based scholarships. Gender-based scholarships, they are gender-sensitive. So it means they can never favor a woman, how can they favor a man. So in this particular debate, we actually understand the fact that how the gender-based scholarships are actually behind the origin, of which we actually remember is very written in this particular concept. So what bring on table? We bring a number of gender scholarships. We take an example of the one prepared with and girls. We look at the gender-sensitive scholarships that actually, for example, the NGOs that actually favor only the girls chair. So what do you want them to understand? So they come and talk about maybe the disadvantaged families or the disadvantaged girls shall actually be behind this particular thing. But also look at the disadvantaged boys, right? So look at the boys who also don't have school fees. Look at the girl who doesn't actually have school fees. So when you bring the gender-based scholarships, which actually bring about gender inequality that we actually talk about this particular debate. So for us to bring the non-gender-based scholarships that actually can favor a boy and can favor a girl, the equality that we actually talk about in this particular process. So they actually talk about, we actually tell them that there is extra support that's actually given to a girl. So making the girls more enrolled at high institutions of learning. Take an example of university. Look at my university. The girl is given 1.5 weights. It's actually favored more and more and giving him less weight to go and actually attain certain posts. So which literally means that the girl will actually be more alone and actually leaving the boy behind. So that's the thing we actually don't want to understand in the entire debate. So there's what we call girls actually in unethical conditions. We look at girls that outperform the boys. So they shouldn't talk about things like weakness for the girls. They shouldn't talk about maybe the girls that are actually not doing this particular debate. So we look at how girls after have still outperformed the girls. Look at the SCA examinations, right? So we see that the girls outperform the what? The boys. So they shouldn't talk about things like the weakness. Weakness of the girls in those past centuries, we actually say, oh, I'm not go to school. But in the current era, we have a girl who can actually go and contest for their family membership. So we think that maybe the things of weakness of the girls will be actually about this particular process allowed.
So thank you so much. So do you think it's a better policy to have all the genders equal or
we should have all gender equal. So for us to talk about that we need to have equality. So they think that maybe that they claim that maybe the men are more literate. Of course that's the different news they actually bring to us. So if you compare the level at which the girls are enrolled, the girls are favored and enrolled more. So if you talk about things like literacy, compare the scalability, more enrollment and the literacy they actually claim in this particular entire debate. So we think that the literacy in men is just the claim of gender. So what do we have to understand? What do we understand that the thing that is actually based on the gender, one gender will actually be uplifted and one gender left behind. So it means if you promote, if one gender, which if one scholarship is based on person A, this person will be actually left behind because of this particular person. So it means if you see person B, person A will be actually left in this particular person. So the thing again, they don't want us to understand the entire debate. So why are we actually banning the gender-based violence? We have seen there's actually increased inequality. We have seen there's increased gender imbalance in this particular concept. So we actually want to understand about everything, about the reasons why we're actually stopping these gender-based scholarships. So they come and talk about that men are upgrading in certain processes. So if you look at how girls are ignored, everything they bring here is just claiming, they think that that's the fact that everybody. So it particularly means that more girls shall actually upgrade because they have actually enrolled more girls at high institutions of learning, for example, university. So if you think about that claim, that's actually the news that you bring to us is actually just a claim. So prove to us. So I beg something.
I begin my speech we abandon these scholarships that are gender, because they are gender sensitive. Because we as Team Africans have to improve on their competitive state, at least to make them stable, like they can compete favorably in a country. That's why we abandon the gender-based scholarships. Here at the Team Negative, ladies and gentlemen, comes here, for instance, how that people are being enrolled, that endowments and universities are not the same. So in people in universities, to go and get the gender-based scholarships, where do they get them from? When they are enrolled, they are posted on their bills that this one is the scholarship. That is endowment. It's coherent with the gender-based scholarship. And if you see, maybe you still complaining about the PhD stuff, take an example, or I live in other sectors of the nation. How can you tell me that the person, yes, is a man, yes, the VP is a lady, there are everyone is a lady? You think they have gone there with PhDs, they are aware, because the ladies there are really competing with the gents in the house. Don't you see that with you, the team of judges, ladies and gentlemen? You see that they can say that the boys are taking naturally, they also know that ladies are really, really very weak. And they are saying that boys are able to do the casual, Hey, can the girls since we are advocating one, SDG goal of opting for gender equality, also the girls go and social work. If you allow them to come and tell me, I can't do that. If you want to say that, I can do social work, that you can, because we are opting for that. You also accepted that we are opting for one goal. That means you're telling us that they are able to do the casual work. Why do you want the girls to do the casual work? You said yes, they are with Mr. Liam. That's what we are saying. We are going to say that they compete favorably, both of the two things compete favorably to come to the one goal that we are going to shoot the balance, to make it balance, to come back. Pardon, ladies and gentlemen, we see that I think my last speaker Claire said that the imbalance and that is really crazy for them because of the scholarship program. That's the action, that affirmative action. We understand in the higher institutions, so then they're saying they don't get their notes for it. They don't know to implement the next resolution. Because my first speaker clearly told them that we are dealing with enrollment everything that is campus. And actually they told them the tertiary institutions and everything, but what they are saying that we are not taking it as an example in the resolution. So what do we depend out in the resolution? They are talking about literacy that are going to make money. A question of satisfaction. Why is being enrolled more than that? They are declining that there is decline in the literacy levels and disaster. From the point of giving allow us to bring
by promoting literacy among us, maybe the resolution and maybe the problem we have in the country. But being trying to solve the problem of literacy by really encouraging and promoting this gender-based scholarship so that we can actually get students who are from poor families, those have been struggling with their course that they can go for this for such education again. But in that case, they actually want to group actually helping us, and my first speaker here identified that they are reducing the level of literacy in Uganda ever since they have been established. The recommendations are actually reduced at a very good percentage there. As a matter of fact, we actually have to believe that these scholarships have also promoted hard work among students. This is because these students are able to work hard so that they can also fight for such scholarships. And as a matter of fact, we come to see the increase the quality of education among students are there. This at maybe at the level of senior 6, I will be able to, if I score at least 15%, there will be some scholarship that will be able to say the problems will be actually be more. The process actually being is kind of problematic than the problem that they are actually facing. Once they come to see the problem of increased level of literacy that will come out.
In the beginning, the first speaker from the affirmers, I begin in CBA. This house believes that security agencies are driven by the society's bias on male, thus favoring women. I'll begin by explaining the key terms. Security agencies. These are government departments whose deal with protection. Driven. Influence focused by a particular thing. Society's bias. A strong feeling of favor towards or against one group of people. Favoring women. To support women over men. And I'm going to put for you the motion in the layman's language. This house believes that government departments which deal with protection are influenced by a strong society injustice support women. Here I set my parameters in Uganda. Here are our key points. Currently in Uganda, males are found accused of crimes are treated much badly or unfairly compared to manhandle even when there is no need. Women who commit serious crimes like corruption or murder are treated well even when they
Are you aware that these particular people that work in security agencies are trained personnel that do not go by the society's feeling but implement the law that they have studied?
I am well aware, but as you know, currently in Uganda, we have seen many people who are well trained but are still going by people's words or by the society's say. So I don't actually see a meaning in your point. As I was stating before you interrupted me, women who commit serious crimes like corruption, murder, are treated well even when they are rescued because they are tortured by society. They begin by explaining our first point, which stated that men are considered strong and masculine, hence treating them harshly by security agencies. For example, if a man commits a crime and a woman commits a crime, if you threaten a woman that I'm going to beat you, the woman may easily open up. But the men of these days, if you say I'll beat you, they'll say beat me and you see, I will tell you, I'll still not open up. So this is what is forcing the different security agencies to torture those men. But they are not torturing them because they are not forcing the men to torture. The security agencies torture the men. Men are considered rude and aggressive by society. Let me give you an example. Usually, when they come to arrest you, they will ask you, do you want to go the easy way or you want to go the hard way? If you have to actually observe, most women would rather go the easy way with no example. Women would rather go the easy way. But most men would be like, what proof do you have against me? Show me your arrest warrant. Show me this, show me that. So even if it was you come asking for something, then someone starts putting you up, down, through the bush, you become impatient. Then that's why you see that these different police officers, these different security agencies start dragging the men. I can give you an example during the election time, especially with this political party, the National Unity Platform. We have, and also maybe we have seen in most cases that security agencies call the police and different and the police dragging them. You should ask yourself why. We lost the rest of our case.
Are driven by societal bias, society's bias on men, thus favoring women. First of all, they come and explain to us that security agencies, these are agencies that deal in protection. But then we think that we do not agree to the explanation that they give us for the term society agencies. For us, what we term as security agencies, these are agencies that do not only stop on protecting, but also deal in enforcing the law. Okay, so finally, they come and tell us that society bias, this is either favoring or not favoring the other side. So that's why they say to them the society bias that men have, the society has on men is leading to the favorism that they deserve. When they come and give us cases whereby the men where the men they concede the fact that they say that the men, because of the fact that they are strong, they say that the police handles them harshly or rudely. But then they come also and they tell us, according to the particular, they say that the police persuasion them will go the easy way or the hard way. And then she also tells us that they let this always opt for the easy way. So that makes me she's struggling with us. Because first of all, we believe that the police, as it is implementing its policy or its laws, what it does, if they are like go the easy way. The reason as to why sometimes we see the harsh treatment of the police is due to the fact that the police tend to take it the officers, the people that are implementing the policy. They try to run away when they are told to train, they need to train for instance, when they are innocent or guilty. On that train of instance, that's why the police or the officers or the security agents tend to put more force on them so as to get them to persuade them to go to train. But then that's something that they neglect in their case. So for us, we believe that the security agencies are not driven by society's bias, but then for us, we believe that security agencies are driven by the law. So in this case, first of all, my question, do you believe that these people who are enforcing the law of the security agencies, they go under a certain training? First of all, she says this, but then, okay, if they go under this law, the training, which means they are taught how the law goes, how the law is implemented, and how they should focus. First of all, under the police agencies, we have the police department, whereby it also deals with protection and enforcing the law. So this police department follows the act of the police, which says that not every when enforcing the law, we shouldn't focus, we shouldn't give any gender, no criticism of any gender. So, in a state that the rest that we believe that the security are not driven by the society, but on the other side, they're driven by the law. So, in cases where we have seen the security agents not favoring any gender. We have the case of Shiva and Nakasi, the number of them being of woman issue, where she was manhandled due to the fact that she was involved in the strike. She was arrested with other male supporters of him. So that's no any kind of societal bias. If it was there, which means they wouldn't arrest her, but then she was also manhandled the way they arrested other male supporters. That's something that shows that they are doing. And we had a case of Agnes, who is the vice president of Blue, when she was arrested due to the fact that she also engaged of such a case. But then, if societal bias was there and it's the one ranking the police, when you see such an act, which means the police and the police are driven by the law. That's what Monica Kamba, who was held as a suspect of killing the husband. If we had such cases, then they come and tell us that society bias that the society has on men and the agencies they are calling to the fact that men are more corrupt and they are murderers. But then, if they had such a degree or such a bias who was sentenced 27 years in jail for killing the boyfriend. So in this case, we need to understand that the society
administration for giving us such an opportunity maybe to engage in your tournament. And I would like to appreciate all the people involved, the debaters, the coaches, the adjudicators. Thank you really so much. And I attribute reaching on the finals to my coach and you, the fellow participants that are engaged in the tournament. Thank you so much. Now, I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1, and pan. This house believes that security agencies are driven by society's bias on males, thus favoring women. Now, the negators actually still continue to believe that a kind of such a belief is perfect one. We continue and list for them, for examples of females, and what the society perceives bad, going on what they learned. We continue to tell them. Now I gave us 2 cases to compare. The people that stole the iron sheets and killed the message. But then they're going to understand that actually the law has the way it works. It works by maybe trying someone. They consider the kind of an evidence that you give. So bringing up such a cases, we still continue to believe it is basing on not something like bias. It is basing on what is the evidence, more clarity of the case. They continue to investigate the case. They really see if someone is what? Jailing. They see whether someone is, okay, we hold you as a suspect, whether someone is worth standing as a criminal. That is why you're going to see, maybe, from the kind of an evidence that these people present, these people of the iron sheets actually presented a very supportive evidence that was proving them not guilty of the iron sheet issue. But then, this kind of a message was a clear evidence of him possessing a gun. Now, these are 2 different things. That is why we think that these security agencies are still driven by the law. This is about enforcement now. They come and talk about issues like feelings maybe of men. They are assuming the kind of men who work in security agencies as many who do not go first maybe the world. Men who are not used to actually seeing females everywhere. Now something that we believe that is a really weak case to consider, saying that for them they get feelings and maybe they go on to favor the women. Because that is not a case because actually these men are more exposed to even females outside now. If they consider you to be a suspect or even you are in law, they will handle you in an equal way. There is no kind of a favoritism in the security agencies. We give an examples of Monica Tanga of Mbarara, who is suspected to have killed the husband. She's not just, she has been continued to be held accountable despite the fact that she's even a female. We give an examples of Shiva Nakazima, who the MP of Buvuma district, who was manhandled because she was in law. Now we think that there's level prisons judges to a bigger percentage, men tend to escape from prisons. And now, my first speaker came and said that these people may be rendered a force if men try to violate, or maybe they try to fight simply because they are strong. Simply because maybe they are agreeing to a fact that men continue to do these things of violating, fighting, and even escaping. Like they stated that they do it to a bigger percentage. That is why in most cases you are going to see them maybe being handled more harshly or maybe given more an iron hand. But it is not from a basis of bias. No, they are not driven by bias. We continue to believe that these people are trained personnel, like the police as part of the security agencies, given by the Police Act, which actually continues to emphasize that there should not be criticism of any gender. We think that in our maybe operation of our security agencies in Uganda as a particular country, there is nothing like a favoritism. We think it is a perfect idea that these people maybe are trying to forge maybe in the debate. We think that it does not apply like really in reality or factual or in our country, Uganda. Even when they think they should compare maybe the two cases of TZSJ, it is according to evidence or how you're tried, how you present yourself even in these security agencies now. We continue to think that they talk about issues like maybe men are considered to be strong and mature. That is the reason as to why for them they think they are based on the security agencies are driven by bias. They are giving us that for them, men are considered to be strong and mature. But even when the society continues to consider them as maybe strong, when it comes to security agencies, when it comes to security agencies, they just do not apply any kind of a favoritism or bias on one particular gender. They handle a case or they handle a certain person or certain suspect according to the law, according to how the case is, according to the kind of evidence, according to the kind of investigation. Now, issues like maybe bias, they continue to just forge it to make it fit in the concept, but as in faction, it is not it is not at all in our country, Uganda. They say that men are considered aggressive, but then, according to them, they tell us that men continue to be aggressive even indeed. That is why we say there are cases where maybe these people, like we give our condition, these people apply an iron hand, but they will try to be aggressive. We think that simply because they are not giving us a form of a bias, and a main stand maybe to prove that these people are driven by bias, they stand to lose the debate. I risk my case.
Paying a blind eye to something does not make it non-existent anyway. Third speaker from the affirmative side and the place of CBAIB. I begin. He has performed the motion which states, this House believes that security agencies are driven by the society's bias on male thus favoring women. Whether the team negators agree or not, but you all know that the society considers men to be aggressive. We did not say they are, we said they considered them. And these security personnel also have taken it into their minds. You say that they are functioning on law and not on society's feelings. If they are not functioning on law, I want you to tell me which constitution, which article in the constitution instructs a security personnel to treat two people in the same crime differently. Definitely, I don't think it is there because Article 26 says that there should be fair treatment of everybody. So, if they are saying they are basing on law, which law are they basing on when they are treating two people in the same crimes differently? And secondly, we say that some, our first speaker says that some men opt, not all of them. Yet when they are going to arrest someone, I want to give an example of Michael Mawanda. When they are going to arrest Michael Mawanda, when they were going to arrest Michael Mawanda, they had evidence, true. But when they were going there, they had the whole balance. It seemed like they were actually going to arrest a rebel. Yet he did not say anything. At the very moment they reached his house, he agreed and they went with him. That they had come with an entire balance, actually the entire army of the country. Yet with Goris Tutu's case, they only went with 2 to 3 people. She had stolen iron sheets. They all had the evidence, but they went with 2 to 3 people. Arrest her, no thanks. And these people are so much focusing on Monica Katanga's case. We are not saying they don't arrest them. They can arrest them. If they are in wrong, let them arrest them. But what we are saying is the kind of treatment they receive before being taken to the prison and even in the prison. This Monica Katanga, they have no evidence, true, but she has not faced any kind of torture. I want to give this case of Susan Magara in 2018 that was first murdered. When she was murdered, the suspects saw her was still in prison. They do not have any kind of evidence, but I can tell you the people are being tortured. They show hands that are burnt, fingers that are no longer existent, that they went with their choice, faces that are burnt. All that is so that they are forcing them to say something. It is the same case of murder, but you can see the kind of treatment. That is because they were males and this Monica Katanga is a female. So we are clearly saying that the security personnel are evidently and clearly basing on society's feeling, on society's bias towards females and towards males, and hence they are favoring the females. I was saying that it is the same crime, but yet people are receiving different kinds of treatment to admit to the crimes of which they are not even sure of, just because of the difference in gender. So these people are clear, focusing on the society's bias. There is no way because everybody is supposed to be treated the same way. The same kind of treatment a man receives is the same kind of treatment a woman is supposed to receive. And secondly, they are given an example of females, but really, I'm also going to give an example of the one who was the permanent secretary, the ex-permanent secretary of the Ministry of France. She stole PDM money, no thanks. After stealing PDM money, when they reached her home, they had evidence because it was embezzled and all the evidence pointed towards her. You can see the rest of the evidence. But when reaching there, she told them, this is my home. Do you know that you don't even have money to buy the shit I am putting? That is what you had mentioned to the security personnel. But the security personnel still wanted to treat her humbly compared to the people whom they didn't even have evidence. Secondly, I want to bring to light that they have no evidence against Kizaresti. Yet he's in prison, not eating, he's all looking body. Yes, they have no evidence about it. They are handling men against whom they have no evidence, and they are still handling the people even when they have evidence against them. So it is clear that the security personnel are based on society bias other than the law. And the question of whether they are trained or not, I think that is your question to answer because you people are insisting they are not basing on society bias. So it is your question to answer whether they are truly trained or not. Allow me.
So, do you believe that the law treats you the way you want it to treat you?
Thank you so much. The law, not at all, it does not. Because it says there should be treatment, fair treatment for everybody. So if they can arrest someone and handle someone without evidence because they are female, they come and push you into a car like a cow and then you treat a female who is being aggressive fairly, it means it is not treating you the way you want. Because nobody who is humble, who is just acting aggressive, if I'm being humble, definitely it means I want you to treat me fairly. So you start to lose the case and you start to win definitely because you can see this all based on society bias. Security personnel are based on society bias. And the panel brings out case.
This house believes that the security agencies are driven by the society's bias on males, thus favoring females. Oh no. We actually come to realize that as a matter of fact, the team of farmers actually come to us that maybe in their own imaginary world, they believe that maybe these females have been favored in any case. We actually come to prove to you why we as team negators come to prove to you that the security agencies actually operate according to the laws rather than maybe the assumptions that are being made, maybe by nature, maybe by tradition, that maybe men are stronger and maybe they are accountable than women are. In this case, we come to prove to you that these security personnel, based on the laws of judiciary, which they actually follow when they are implementing actually in this case, we still actually come to prove to you that these security agencies make their own personnel go under training, which they actually do not even rebut on as meaning as the government. They actually come to prove to that idea. We actually come to bring to them the facts where Monica Tanga has been tried in court over the suspected case of killing the husband. We actually come to prove to you that this law of enforcement by the security agencies responds to how you respond to the law idea that when they come to arrest you peacefully and you try to neglect maybe the earpiece they actually provided, when they come to arrest you and try to resist, then they also resist and they are introducing more manhunt working idea that. So as a matter of fact, you should not take it as a granted matter that maybe this personnel maybe treat female idea that in the case of favoring idea that when they come to arrest a woman and maybe she complains, maybe she thinks she's weak and they take her peacefully, then that's her own favor she creates idea that. But for the matter of fact, when she refuses to complain to the fact, then the minute they also take her forcefully as a man. Actually, after giving you the example of Shivani, of the woman of Bukuma, good enough we never rebutted the idea that, meaning we actually comprehend that she was treated as a man whilst resisting in the Nook supporters idea that. As a matter of fact, we come to believe that the law treats you like how you want it to treat you. Idea judges, we have the best question is maybe we can say impose to them and we expect them in the reply speech idea judge. Which cases and which security personnel have biasly enforced order idea judge. So in that case, we want the security personnel whom you think have actually been neglecting or biasly neglecting women and biasly handling men idea judge. In this case, we actually want to make them aware that these security personnel are trained on the duties which they carry out idea judge. So in this case, what are the security agencies are actually talking about? Probably we expect the best from the police idea judge. But then we actually see that this is the security agency that is actually effectively doing its duty in this case. So another question is, do you have any strong and evidential case where a woman was actually forbidden when is just identified a criminal without being presented before the court of law? Idea judge, we actually come to realize that the entire debate has actually been on a focused clash point of men being considered strong idea judge. Yes, as the society they actually believe that men are strong idea judge. But then when we come back to the trained security agencies, men are considered equal with women as long as if you are a criminal, then you are a criminal. If you are a suspect, you are a suspect. Idea judge, irrespective of the gender, if you are harmful to the society, then you are harmful idea judge. We come to the point of constitution where they say that yes, the society considers that if they are in wrong, then they can be arrested. It was just said by the third speaker, if someone is in wrong, then let him or her be arrested. To the Pharisees, they actually come and contradict themselves that women are not being arrested. Actually, they come to see, they actually bring up the best point of best, not eating food. Actually, it means that these people are not yet included in the current perspective of the world, where maybe they can actually access newspapers and read. Best was actually on a hunger strike for a week. This means that Messi was actually not denied the food. As the government, as the prison, the food was being provided. But as a matter of fact that he was on a hunger strike, it's the reason he was not eating idea judge. As a matter of fact, we come to realize that they are saying men, maybe because they think most of the time they escape from prisons. Some speaker of them say men are not being given food idea judge. What actually want them to tell us? Remember that prison where men are denied the food idea prison. I believe that what they decide is the way of handling is still the correspondence or the way you respond to the law when they come. Men are considered aggressive by the society, but not as security agencies. Thank you so much for God and my country as I seek the truth.
I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1 panel, and this is how the debate starts.
I try to be hesitant. Whether you are a male or a female, that will determine the way those people will treat you and now. Because maybe a second speaker stated that a higher percentage of women tend to be hesitant and tend to escape from prisons, that should give us a clear reason as to why we should think these people are always manhandled, are always handled in a little bit harsh way. We think that maybe this comes to a way, like my second speaker, I questioned them. Do you believe that the law being maybe kind of uneasy with you? Now, they come and continue to tell us that maybe it is the same crime, but then they are treating you differently. This is not about gender. This is about how you act when they are trying to handle you. They come and give us a case of Michael. When he considered and actually believed, it is a statement from them. When he considered and went peacefully, they handled him peacefully. But then, they come and give us a case of a person like Message. They tell us that for them he was on a hunger strike. But you know the number one major reason as to why this man he refused to food himself. But the food was provided to him now. When they tell us that there is no food for men in prisons, it is something we are not going to agree to. Men are given food in prison, so that is kind of an assumption or a lie that are trying to actually forge in a debate. I think that wins the debate is a thing that is going to clarify more when
the security agencies are driven by bias or not, and now, because explain to them what actually drives the security agencies, the law, the kind of a training, and maybe the kind of a way a suspect acts, and because we give them clear examples of actually women that were handled, and because we explain to them a condition of something that forces these security agencies maybe that determines the way they treat as a kind of a suspect, is the reason enough to prove to them that security agencies are not driven by bias, because maybe they have not been unable to clarify to us the major reason, the major stand, why they hold it as a belief that security agencies are driven by bias. They just do not stand to win the debate now. They can continue to come and tell them about the Police Act, then we get their third speaker come and question us to tell them a section in the Constitution. But I believe we get that kind of an information right away from a first to third speech, and we believe examples and issues like this of a law and training and the issues that derive men, not societal bias. I rest my case.
Back on stage, I'm the second affirmer, affirming the motion which you have been debating, which is this House believes that security agencies are driven by the society's bias on males, thus favoring women. Some of our points were, men are considered strong and masculine, but hence treated harshly by security agencies by beating and torturing them in prison, which is not the same case with the women. Men are considered rude and aggressive by the society, causing security agencies to handle them even when there is no need to be rude to them. Then those were the clashes. And another point of ours were, women who commit serious crimes are treated well, and even if they are operated that when they are not handled the same way as the men. Then we gave some examples, and one of them was Michael Mawanda. Michael Mawanda was polite to the security agencies, but then they had to bring a whole gang of security agencies. But then we see there was no need for them to just carry a whole gang. Then we also gave an example of Chiza Besije, who was witnessed with a gun, as the team affirmative had said, and of which we continue to say that the affirmative said that he was on a hunger strike because he was arrested. He was on a hunger strike. And we as the negative, we continue to say he was arrested because he was on a hunger strike of being arrested, yet there was no evidence. There was nothing to prove that he was caught with a gun. Probably there is a possibility because of political instabilities, he would have been, are you getting? Yeah. And again, males tend to escape from prison because of that. There is the biggest percentage of people who escape from prison, they are males, and so they have to put a lot of focus on males. Actually, male prisons are even more offensive. They even put a lot of security items on them. Then we are not saying that they should not be arrested. No, we let them be arrested if they do wrong. Yes, we are not like the women should not be arrested. That was our point. We are not saying that the women should not be arrested because also then they can do wrong. But then if they are arrested and the males are arrested, let them be handled the same way. Not take the males while beating them. When they are going to put them in the police trucks, they just trash them as if it's rubbish being thrown in the rubbish pits. No, but they are receiving different treatments. Probably there are women defaulters who are men-like treated, but to a bigger percentage, men are treated more worse. Then you told us that about the Police Act, but then you're not telling us which one exactly. Yes, you're telling us, you're saying that you're informing us of the act of which you're not telling it to us, and then with all the things and all the explanation you have given the panel, we expect to win this debate. Thank you.
Marius.
Thank you. Face the audience and put guys high. Be near the officer. And I think I will also stand there. He's ready to go. silver and the gold. Right? Okay. The team that will have matched the winners of today's tournament will take the gold, and those that will have become the second in this one, in the finals, will take the silver, right? So, I will give this opportunity to the lead judge to tell us which team has won, and then after announcing, please, audience, don't storm here, right?
For silence, because we are going to actually listen for the champions and the second runners-up, the first runners-up, sorry. So, in today's verdict, it was a panel of 5 judges, and like I had said before, the team that wins a debate is a team that fulfills its burden better. The teams that have been meeting have been emphasizing this. The team that wins its burden better is the team that wins the debate. And therefore today's verdict was 3-2 in favor of the opposition side.
Better because you have, jubilated shortly because you are going to come again, okay? Therefore, I like that cooperation. Okay, I want to recognize the presence of the head teacher of Trinity Secondary School. I also want to recognize the presence of the head teacher. Okay, I want to use this opportunity to welcome the head teacher, Nyamweru. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You know, our today's function will give you the roadmap when we shall come to train you, and make sure you cooperate with my team that will be coming, right? Because next year we shall come. Then, the school that will take the trophy, please. This trophy is rotational. Next year, if you take it, okay, it means you are taking it forever, right? Therefore, we are still using it next year. So protect it very well, okay? Okay. I'm still with my madam here of Bishop Kivendere Grounds, okay? She's going to help us. She's going to help us in giving the medals, right? Then the head teacher, Trinity College Kabale, will help us in giving the trophy, right? And then, it is still the head teacher, Mr. Head Teacher. We are happy that we have been here, we are okay, we are not complaining, everything is wow. Members, let's clap for students of Trinity College, they are still maintaining that discipline. Thank you very much. Okay. So, the winning team is taking the gold, right? And then the second are taking the silver. Let's begin with the second team that is taking silver. So, dear debaters, come. I will begin with the first speaker. Come. Also happy me. Thank you. The second speaker, Team Kabale. Second speaker. Without the smell, we are not giving you our medal. Yes. Now, Okay, thank you. Second speaker from team opposition. If we don't smile, we are not giving you the medal. Come for the hug, yes? You know today I'm also enjoying. Okay, the third speaker from team opposition. Now, let me give them a chance of taking a big photo. Patience, it is your learning, it is your ability to learn. Without the ability to learn, you can't reach this level. A round of applause to the patrons. Patrons, please. Let's clap for this patron. Patrons, thank you very much for training your students. But I want to tell you that the struggle continues. And we are happy this evening to come here to crown this function. Debating is not for everyone. I must admit that these people who are here, especially those who have participated in this tournament, this championship, are special people. If they are not special people, according to you, who is seated around there, that is your own perception. But for majority of us who are here, we admit that these people are so special to us, and we are happy that they have reached the finals. Let us congratulate them with a hand clap. My name is Bruce Alino. I'm the head teacher of this school. And, at times, we lack words to say or mention, simply because we are given such a gratitude to say something, or a word or two. However, that not being much important, I want to congratulate the schools that have reached this final. And on a special note, I want to recognize the presence of my fellow head teacher of Nyamweru Secondary School, Mr. Medad Kuramoni. Thank you so much, Medad, for coming. And I want to really commend the work that you are doing at that particular school. We normally hear about it, not for bad, but always for the best, especially when it comes to the level of Rwanda district. You are doing so well. And we congratulate your school even upon completing last year's examinations and doing well. I want to congratulate the ladies of Bishop Chivenjere. Yeah, they look so beautiful. Yes. And I want to, on behalf of Kabale Trinity College, also recognize their patron. Their patron is a good teacher. Thank you so much, madam, for nurturing these children. And we want to appreciate your effort, as well as that of the head teacher of Bishop Chivenjere. I want to use this singular honor also to appreciate the judges, the jury, and the rest who have done great work this day and this evening. To find that they are still seated here, we do not take you for granted. Thank you so much, and we want to appreciate your effort that is put in this competition and this championship. May I request the students of Kabale Trinity to appreciate our judges. Finally, I want to give a piece of advice. But before that, I recognize and thank the audience of our girls here. Yeah, we are a mixed school, but during evenings, we are single schools. Our boys stay at another wing of the dormitory, and all the girls are here. So we agreed with the school administration that when this final of this debate championship reaches, we should have the audience of girls. And I want to appreciate you, our girls, for being here. And you are very cooperative. And we like your presence. I want to encourage you to also participate in the coming competition. We can have 5 teams representing one school. Isn't that possible, Becca? He's discussing with the teacher of Nyamweru Secondary. But I know it is possible that a school can field more than one team. And where it is allowed, I know Kabale Trinity College has the capacity to field more than 2 teams to compete. So I want to implore you to do that. Finally, I want to wish the schools that are still here a safe journey, and our judges and the whole team that has been organizing this function and this championship. As you travel back, we shall pray for Daniel mercies and extend our greetings to your respective schools, school administrators, the students, even parents. Say hi and we greet them in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. I want to wish everybody well and may God bless you. I like that ovation. So, he's going to award to give the trophy to the winners, right? But on behalf of zeds fraternity, we are committed, and that is how we normally do our things, okay? Guiding and cooperating with people, right? So, those of you who are in senior six, like I said, come join us, we shall recruit you, right? Now, my dear head teacher, we are going to give the trophy to team opposition, that is Trinity College Kabale.